Is Angel headed towards a 12-point, 6 rebound, 4 assist kind of season? In other words, being a character actor and not the superstar of this team?
I felt like both of the teams went for win. Honestly, I thought both of these teams went out hard and went out to win and did not care what happened, they were going to win.
The Minnesota Lynx opener on May 10th delivered an unexpected twist as Napheesa Collier, lauded for her defensive prowess, methodically stripped Angel Reese of every advantage once thought untouchable. Rather than the anticipated offensive duel, the contest evolved into a defensive masterclass, with Collier posting 26 points on 8 of 13 shooting, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block in just under 26 minutes. Numbers that would have seemed routine coming from Reese. But from Collier, they carried seismic impact. From the opening tip, Collier established deep post position, using impeccable footwork to deny Reese any space within 2 feet of the rim. Twice Reese attempted trademark putbacks only to see Collier box her out and corral both ball and rebound. 3 times in the second quarter, Reese flashed for an entry pass, only to find Collier's arm-length denial forcing the pass away, culminating in a forced baseline jumper that clanged off the rim. By halftime, the Lynx had poured in 48 points on 50% shooting, while the Sky managed a mere 42 points at 25% accuracy. Collier's systematic approach established body contact, maintained lower center balance, forced leverage away from the basket, transformed what many expected to be a showcase of Reese's rebounding dominance into a glaring exposé of its limitations against an opponent equally skilled in physicality but superior in basketball IQ.
Napheesa Collier absolutely hooked Angel Reese's ass last night. 8 of 13, 61.5%, 26 points in 25 minutes and 53 seconds. She scored 26 in 26 minutes on their ass.
Probably the first time we've seen Fee Collier well and truly get the best of her. Like, I do think that Angel Reese had always put up good games against Fee.
The Lynx victory wasn't decided on offensive fireworks so much as on defensive discipline, where each Collier maneuver chipped away at Reese's reputation for grabbing every loose ball. As both teams headed to the locker rooms, the narrative had shifted. The centerpiece of the Sky's offense had been neutralized, and questions loomed over whether Reese could ever reclaim the interior supremacy that fueled her collegiate legend. But the contest was only part 2 of a much larger storyline. Angel Reese entered the WNBA as a phenomenon, fresh off a national championship run at LSU, and hailed as the rebounding queen for her uncanny ability to tip in missed shots and secure boards against far taller competition. The pre-draft hype centered on her all-around physicality, rebounding tenacity, and a style of play born from rooftop pickup games in Baltimore, a story heavy on grit and underdog spirit. Upon joining the Chicago Sky, Reese's social media footprint exploded. Millions of followers across Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok, memes of her underhanded scoop shots, and viral debates about whether her style would translate to the pro game.
We're going to find out very quickly who amongst the Chicago Sky fans are really and truly basketball fans, or are they Angel Reese, the content creator, fans?
Yet that narrative encountered its first major roadblock in January, when a mid-season ankle sprain sidelined her for 6 weeks. During her absence, the Sky's frontcourt rotations adapted, inserting a more traditional post-scoring threat and emphasizing ball movement over isolation. The injury window exposed weaknesses in Reese's perimeter shooting and playmaking skills, with opponents daring her to step away from the rim, exactly where Collier would later trap her. Upon her return, Reese posted solid numbers, averages near a double-double, but analysts noted an altered role, fewer touches in the paint, more spot-up perimeter attempts, and a visible drop in rebound rate. Rather than dismantling defenses, her impact oscillated between highlight reel putbacks and cold stretches of inactivity. The ankle setback had not only interrupted momentum, but highlighted a crucial question. Would Reese's elite rebounding gift be enough for sustained success?
I just don't think Angel Reese fans are going to be happy because she's playing away from the rim, a long way away from the rim, and those rebound numbers and those double-doubles are about to take a back seat.
As team executives mulled over long-term strategy, the ankle injury lingered as a cautionary tale. Even the most fearless rebounder can be rendered ordinary without diversifying skill sets. Yet the social media maelstrom remained undiminished, setting the stage for a looming clash between likes and live point. Angel Reese's influence felt omnipresent online, fan art flooding timelines, highlight clips racking up millions of views, and bold claims that she alone was driving audiences to women's basketball. Yet when ticket sales and TV ratings arrived for analysis, a stark contrast emerged. Reese's highly anticipated homecoming at LSU on March 2nd drew 6,373 fans into a 13,000-seat arena, leaving more than half the seats empty despite national coverage and local marketing pushes. A similar story unfolded in Chicago, where the Sky's April 18th preseason tilt attracted just 4,688 spectators to Wintrust Arena, ranking among the lowest in-market draws for a major league franchise. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark's professional debut in Iowa sold out 14,998 seats in just 27 minutes, and her April 20th exhibition against Brazil drew 1.3 million viewers on ESPN, outpacing 55 of 57 NBA preseason telecasts dating back to 2010. The data painted a clear picture. Digital engagements did not equate to physical attendance or consistent television viewership. Reese's online following generated viral moments, trash talk threads, debate panels, reaction videos, but failed to convert into gate revenue or base-level TV ratings. In economic terms, her marketability as a live draw lagged far behind projections, raising alarms among WNBA marketers accustomed to measuring star power not by follower count, but by seats sold and eyeballs on broadcasts. The disconnect underscored a broader lesson in modern sports. Social media buzz can amplify personal brands, yet sustainable franchise growth demands tangible fan investment beyond clicks and shares. As owners calculate profit and loss for the upcoming season, the gulf between Reese's digital persona and her in-arena appeal deserves scrutiny, particularly when contrasted against a peer whose brand, both online and offline, is redefining what it means to be a breakout star. Strategic film analysis from May 10th reveals that Minnesota's coaching staff designed a defensive blueprint specifically tailored to neutralize Angel Reese's core strengths. First, zone principles were abandoned in favor of man-to-man assignments, ensuring Collier could shadow Reese without help rotations, muddying the matchup. Defensive coordinator Jim Peterson installed a series of fist plays, fronting post entries, with the weak side help center shaded low, funneling Reese into a gauntlet of rotating defenders. Each time Reese established inside positioning, an instant double team arrived from the slot defender, cutting off passing lanes and forcing contested wing shots. The perimeter defenders rotated early, erasing baseline lob alternatives and stringently contesting every external jump shot. This high-risk strategy paid dividends. Reese attempted 0 putbacks during a crucial 5-minute stretch of the third quarter. Her usual rebounding bonanza reduced to a spectator's role.
It's going to be another one of those years, and her fan base is not going to be happy.
On the offensive end, the Lynx implemented a dribble drive kick package, pushing the ball into Collier's hands in the high post, then swinging it back out to shooters when Chicago's bigs collapsed, further emphasizing Collier's two-way impact. Scouting reports indicate that Collier's film study prior to the game revealed Reese's tendency to read off-ball movement before the pass, a habit exploited by perimeter cutters and backdoor lobs. 2 opportunities denied by disciplined help.
But Angel was 2 of 8 from the field. 2 of 8 from the field. 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 10 points.
For the first time in a long time, Fee Collier actually kind of cooked Angel Reese.
The resulting tactical confluence left Reese with 10 points on 25% shooting and only 3 rebounds. In professional basketball, an individual's ceiling is often defined not only by personal ability, but by opponent game planning. On this night, the Lynx proved willing to sacrifice early offensive flow to relegate Reese to statistical obscurity, an approach that may well serve as a template for other teams throughout the season. Teresa Weatherspoon's hiring in year one of the Sky's rebuild carried fanfare, the Hall of Famer tasked with forging a championship culture around promising talent like Reese. Instead, her 40-game stint concluded with a 13-27 record, mounting speculation of a disconnect between individual star cultivation and collective team success. Locker room chatter, leaked via anonymous sources, pointed to a system that prioritized Reese's rebounding gauntlets and isolation, scoring over ball movement and backcourt cohesion. During losses that ballooned beyond 10 points, film shows repeated end-of-quarter isolation sets called for Reese, even when the matchup signaled early double teams. Critics argued that Weatherspoon's system enabled stat chasing rather than emphasizing the shared offensive principles required for genuine championship contention.
So guess what? Padding the stats is not going to work out.
The only reason she got to double digits was they left her in. They left her in against the bench, and she blew an open layup, got the rebound, and put it in. Like, she had 3 rebounds in the end of the game.
Exit interviews painted a portrait of frustration. Role players lamented infrequent touches. Ball handlers felt pigeonholed into setting screens rather than initiating offense. And defensive rotations suffered when Wings Loot insisted on whipping entry passes into the paint for contested fadeaways. The front office's decision to part ways with Weatherspoon mid-season underscored a fundamental organizational tenet. Professional success demands that personal accolades translate into winning basketball. 2 weeks after her dismissal, Reese tweeted, "I came to Chicago because of you," a statement that suggested alignment with her former coach's vision, but which further complicated narratives around leadership, responsibility, and the true cost of stat padding. As the franchise charts its path forward, the Weatherspoon chapter stands as a stark reminder that talent alone cannot compensate for systemic misalignment, and that the measure of coaching success is written on the win-loss column, not the individual box scores.
Tyler Marsh, I think, may have this team better than I think they do. I think he has fully embraced the idea that this team and what it's going to be and the identity of the team.
Tyler Marsh, the turnaround he's had for the Chicago team, I mean, they're going to be good.
Incoming head coach Tyler Marsh inherited a roster brimming with athleticism, but lacking offensive continuity. Recognizing the league's shift toward positionless basketball, Marsh abandoned the old-school low-post model, electing instead to deploy Angel Reese as a high-post facilitator. This paradigm shift hinges on spacing principles. Reese will receive kick-out opportunities from elbow or wing, where her passing vision can spring cutters and open shooters. A system designed to mask limitations in three-point shooting while maximizing her court awareness.
One thing I got to give Angel Reese credit for, playmaking was good. The playmaking was good.
The new scheme features flex flow sets, where Reese repeatedly screens for guards before relocating to the free throw line, establishing herself as a hub for handoff dribble drives and seamless entry feeds. On pick-and-pop actions, perimeter threats like Courtney Vandersloot and Ariel Atkins will set staggered screens, clearing the lane for Reese's mid-range pull-up, a shot rarely taken during her rookie run. Defensively, Marsh's plan revolves around switching on pick-and-rolls to prevent Collier-like matchups in future encounters, leveraging Reese's lateral mobility despite prior conditioning doubts. Early season scrimmages indicate a learning curve. Reese's decision-making time increased as she adjusted to reading multiple defender rotations, and her perimeter shooting percentage hovered near 28%, an area identified for rapid improvement.
Angel Reese fans are not going to be happy, though, because of the way she's going to be used in this offense. So we're going to find out who are the basketball fans and who are not the basketball fans.
Nonetheless, the strategic pivot signals the organization's belief that Reese's future impact extends beyond rebounding bins toward versatile playmaking that aligns with modern WNBA offenses. Whether this transformation can mature under regular season pressure remains in question, but the structural overhaul constitutes a bold bet on Reese's potential to transcend post-centric limitations. Behind closed doors this past April, Angel Reese dedicated herself to an intense training cycle aimed at reinforcing endurance, lateral quickness, and three-point consistency, attributes spotlighted as critical weaknesses by scouting departments. Under the guidance of renowned shooting coach Sasha Blair Goldenson, Reese reportedly logged 6-hour daily sessions, with 500 catch-and-shoot repetitions from NBA three-point lines and 1,000 spot-up triples from mid-range. Video from practice footage shows Reese's release tightening under simulated defensive pressure, although conversion rates hovered around 34%, solid by early off-season standards, but shy of the 37% threshold projected for league-average perimeter reliability. Concurrently, strength and conditioning coach James Stark implemented plyometric drills to improve Reese's reactive agility, a direct response to her struggles in lateral recoveries during the Collier matchup. Fatigue-based footwork drills sought to replicate fourth-quarter conditioning, reinforcing the ability to elevate off both feet on perimeter jumpers despite tired legs. Reports also cite specialized yoga sessions focusing on ankle stability, a precautionary measure after her sprains sidelined her mid-season. While film study with assistant coach Tiffany Gooden emphasized reading defensive rotations ahead of the cursorily favored rebound and go mentality. The cumulative effect of this multifaceted regimen represents Reese's acknowledgement that rebounding prowess alone will not secure all-star nods or playoff success. The true test of off-season progress will emerge under the bright lights, where muscle memory and stamina coalesce into split-second decisions.
Even if they don't do extremely well record-wise, they're going to be hard to beat. No one's going to find it easy to play Chicago at all next year.
Chicago's organizational architects face a dichotomy. Embrace Angel Reese's magnetic star quality, which fills social feeds and attracts sponsors, or insist upon a system-first culture that subordinates individual branding to team objectives. The Sky's front office, led by General Manager Jeff Paglocka, has publicly reiterated faith in Reese's ability to blend brand building with basketball dedication, citing her off-court ventures as evidence of professionalism. Yet internal sources reveal tension. Veteran players acknowledge the promotional value of Reese's star power, but privately express frustration when late-game plays still funnel through her, despite glaring mismatches. This cultural tug-of-war extends into practice mood. Some sessions reportedly center around individual skill competitions, while others focus on collective defensive rotations and screening angles.
This person says, duh, but we need to make sure the stats are correct. Why? Because there's going to be a conspiracy against Angel Reese by the WNBA? Okay.
The team's leadership council has been urged to convene weekly meetings, fostering open dialogue on mindset, role clarity, and mutual accountability. Whether this club-wide initiative yields harmony or exacerbates existing divides will determine Chicago's locker room cohesion, one of the most intangible yet influential factors behind any successful professional franchise. Rebuking the notion that personal brand building must be sacrificed for communal success, executives have offered Reese a leadership role in marketing campaigns conditional upon standard adherence to playbook principles, effectively merging off-court incentives with on-court discipline. Such a model, if embraced, could forge a new paradigm in women's basketball. Athletes celebrated for personal narratives, but united under a common competitive banner. Public discourse around Angel Reese often oscillates between idolization and criticism, with commentators dissecting every post-game gesture and tweet. Segment panels debate whether her brash soundbites, like proclaiming "fans watch for me," constitute confident leadership or self-indulgence. Social media algorithms amplify every highlight, yet equally spotlight moments when on-court frustration flares, such as late clock isolation attempts or visible exasperation with teammates. Surveys conducted by local media outlets indicate that while a core demographic of 18 to 24-year-olds passionately rallies behind Reese's authenticity, a broader audience views her style as polarizing. Advertisers attuned to demographic analytics have begun tailoring endorsements that target specific market segments, from youth apparel to sports drink brands embracing her unapologetic persona. Conversely, legacy sponsors seeking more traditional athlete representation have hesitated, awaiting clearer indicators of consistent team success. This tug-of-war plays out in weekly media availability sessions, where Reese is pressed on balancing authenticity with team-first messaging. Her responses, emphasizing ambition, competitiveness, and growth, reflect a conscious effort to shape public narrative. Media trainers have been enlisted to refine messaging cadence, ensuring that viral one-liners complement rather than detract from the collective Sky brand. Ultimately, the public's perception will hinge on whether Reese can channel her attention-grabbing flair into sustained on-court achievements, transforming viral moments into a legacy of winning. All roads lead to May 17th, when the Indiana Fever, led by breakout star Caitlin Clark, host the Chicago Sky in what has been branded women's basketball's ultimate showdown. Clark's meteoric rise, marked by sold-out arenas, record-breaking TV ratings, and a team-first ethos, stands in stark contrast to Reese's individual-centric narrative. Analysts anticipate a clash of styles, Clark's fluid ball movement and three-point bombardment versus Reese's evolving perimeter play and interior physicality. The Fever's defense, anchored by length and rotational speed, will test Reese's improved conditioning and decision-making under pressure. Early scouting reports suggest Indiana plans to switch pick and rolls against Reese's new free throw line role, seeking to exploit any lingering foot speed deficiencies. Offensively, Chicago's spacing scheme will be deployed fully, with Reese orchestrating from the high post, while Clark's north-south drives will probe the Sky's interior, help defense. Beyond the X's and O's, the game functions as a broader litmus test for both franchises. For the Fever, validation of a Clark-driven business model. For the Sky, proof of Reese's ability to transcend social media hype and assert herself as a true difference maker. National networks have already designated the matchup for primetime coverage, signaling high stakes. As tip-off approaches, all narratives converge on this one arena: individual glory versus collective brilliance. Viral fame versus systematic execution. The outcome may well define the trajectory of both players' careers and set the tone for a season that promises to reshape perceptions of star power in women's basketball.